If you think the suburbs are safe, think again. Sometimes the worst monsters aren't found in the city, they live right next door. Lock your doors, watch your windows, and if you hear breathing on the line, don't answer. I always thought the suburbs were supposed to be safe. Manicured lawns, friendly neighbors, streetlights that always worked. But that house at the end of Willow Lane, the one with the green porch light, it was hiding something, and I should have left it alone. I really should have. We moved in mid-July. My husband Devin landed a job out here. Small town, quiet, good schools, the kind of place where people wave when they pass you. Our neighbors brought over cookies. It felt picture perfect, except for one house, right across the street, an old Victorian. Porch wrapped around like a hug you didn't ask for. And above the door, a single green light, glowing, day and night. Never flickered, never turned off. I asked a neighbor. "Old lady lives there," she said. "Doesn't come out much." That was it. I let it go. At first, 3 nights in, I couldn't sleep. The baby was fussy, I was tired, I was pacing the hallway. When I looked out the window, the green light was still on. But the attic window, blinking, faint, like a flashlight. 2 quick blinks, pause, 3 more. I stared at it until it stopped. Told Devin. He laughed, said maybe the power was glitching, but I knew what I saw. I looked it up. 2-3 in Morse code. 23 didn't mean anything to me. Yet, a few days later I saw her. The old woman, she was out in her backyard just standing. Still, wearing a white nightgown in the middle of a heat wave. Didn't wave, didn't blink. Just stared. That night, the green light was off. And then came the knocks. 3 sharp knocks at my front door. It was 2:11 a.m. I didn't open it. Devin was asleep. The baby too. I checked the camera the next morning. No one there, just 3 dull thuds, like something heavy had hit the door, but nothing and no one in sight. Something didn't sit right. I drove to the county records office, found the address. Name on file, Lorraine Murchison. Lived there since 1989. But the utilities? They were in someone else's name. A man, Thomas Reed. I dug deeper. He was reported missing in 2002, and get this. That house had seen 5 different renters in the last decade. All young, all alone, all vanished within 6 months of moving in. The light wasn't a porch light, it was a signal or a trap. That night, the green light was back. But the attic window? Open, curtains fluttering like something had escaped. Devin was on a business trip, I was home. Just me and the baby. At 3:12 a.m., the baby screamed. Not cried, screamed. I ran into the nursery. The window was open, but the worst part, there were footprints inside the window, small, bare, covered in dirt. I grabbed my baby, called the cops. They came fast, checked every room, every closet, asked me if I'd taken anything, melatonin, sleeping meds. I hadn't. I begged them to check the house across the street. One officer looked at me strange. "Ma'am, that house is empty," he said. "Condemned. Been that way for years." I ran to the baby monitor, scrubbed through the footage. At 3:12, the feed glitched. Came back 5 seconds later, and there was someone standing over the crib, a woman, long, limp hair, white nightgown. But her face? It was static, like the signal couldn't pick her up. When Devin got home, I showed him. He didn't laugh this time. The attic window across the street, boarded shut, the green light, gone. We moved out 2 weeks later. I looked up Lorraine Murchison again, and there it was, her obituary. She died in 2002. Same year Thomas Reed disappeared. They buried her in an unmarked grave right behind the house. I thought that light was a warning, but it wasn't. It was a lure, and I was lucky that I didn't answer the door. Have you ever thought you were being watched, even inside your own home? In the suburbs, where every lawn is mowed and porch lights flicker like fireflies, you'd never expect true horror to live next door. Tonight I'm sharing the real story of Maple Grove's Night Stalker. Lock your doors, draw your curtains. Because sometimes the monster isn't in your imagination, it's right outside your window. Maple Grove is the kind of suburb you see in brochures, safe, sleepy, where everyone knows everyone. I moved in after college, renting a small blue house on Hawthorne Lane. My neighbors were friendly, too friendly almost. We had block parties, community watches. I felt safe, almost bored. But then came the stories. A neighbor's trash can found at the edge of the woods. Someone's dog barking nonstop at 3 a.m. Porch lights unscrewed one by one on my block. I thought nothing of it, just teenagers maybe. But then I started noticing things around my own house. It started with my mailbox, left open every morning no matter how tightly I shut it at night. Then I found muddy footprints by my back door. My motion-activated porch camera stopped working. My roommate, Angie, joked about ghosts. I laughed, but inside I felt a chill I couldn't explain. Then I caught a shadow moving outside my window late one night, just a flicker. I shrugged it off, blaming my overactive mind. After all, what are the odds in Maple Grove? 2 weeks later, the phone calls started, always at 2:13 a.m. Silence at first, then breathing, raspy, slow, almost intentional. One night, a low voice whispered, "Pretty blue house on the corner. You look nice in red." I froze. I'd worn a red sweater that day. My bedroom window faced the street, no blinds, just sheer curtains. I reported it to the police. They shrugged. Probably prank calls, they said. So I bought new locks, blackout curtains, and a can of pepper spray. Angie left for the weekend, leaving me alone. That night, the air felt heavy. At midnight, I heard shuffling by the side gate. I peeked through the blinds, nothing. But at 1:30 a.m., my motion detector pinged. Movement in the backyard. I crept to the kitchen, heart pounding. Through the window, I saw a figure standing at the edge of my yard, tall, hooded, just watching. He didn't move, didn't approach, just watched, hands in pockets, head slightly tilted like he was studying me. I called 911, barely whispering. The operator kept me on the line, but by the time the police arrived, he was gone. No footprints, no sign. They promised extra patrols, but deep down, I knew I was being hunted. I wasn't sleeping anymore. I kept my phone charged, my keys in my pocket. I set up a baby monitor by the window, pointing at the backyard. On the third night, the monitor buzzed, static, then a whisper. "Don't call them, you'll regret it." I jumped up, heart racing, dialed 911 again. As I spoke, I heard glass shatter in the living room. I hid in the closet, phone clutched to my chest, trying not to breathe. Footsteps, deliberate, slow, crossed the hardwood floor. The bedroom door creaked open. He stood in the doorway, his silhouette outlined by the street lamp. He wore a plain mask, white, featureless except for 2 black eye holes. He looked around, sniffed the air, then walked out. Police sirens screamed down the block. They never found him. The attacks didn't stop, just moved to other homes. People started whispering about the Night Stalker. Security cameras caught glimpses, tall, hooded, always masked, always gone before dawn. I moved out. Half the block did too. Police never caught him. Some say he was a drifter, others a neighbor hiding in plain sight. To this day, houses on Hawthorne Lane keep their porch lights on all night. I still get anonymous letters sometimes, no return address. Just a single word, scrawled in black ink. Watched.